Once in a while you read about somebody with an exotic pet, like a ferret or a rhino or something. And to a woman, you know, an exotic pet might be a strange kind of cat. You know, orange eyes, no fur, ears like Mr. Spock. But the kind of exotic pets that appeal to men, well, these would be tigers, falcons, cobras. These animals are living weapons. You don't go play in the park with these babies. You don't dress them up in little outfits. You don't let them sit in your lap while you watch Rescue 911, unless you want to be on it. It's not smart or correct, but it's one of the things that makes us what we are. Stay tuned for tips on appliance repair. And Bill and I, unfortunately, went out skeet shooting, had a little accident. Oh boy. Harold is very upset to hear about that. And Edgar Montrose is here to show us some of the delicacies of working with dynamite.
And now here's the big kahuna, Possum Log. The reason God created the word apologize. My uncle, Red Green!
Thank you. And here's the main reason I have to apologize, my nephew Harold.
Apology accepted.
Bit of a major crime spree over at Buster Hatfield's house this week. All of his lawn ornaments were stolen.
All of them? The fat lady bent over, Snow White and the 7 pink flamingos, the goat, the cow, and Bambi with the ear shot off?
Yep, and the oversized mushrooms, and the fiberglass fluorescent Santa Claus, and the motorized sheep, and even the big United Way thermometer.
Wow! Mary and her little plywood lamb, the neon James Dean, the entire cast of The Wizard of Oz?
Yep, and all the stuff up on the walls of the house too, Harold. The butterflies, the Halloween pumpkins, and that nativity scene with the 3 wise Smurfs.
Wow. Woo! So what's Buster gonna do now?
Well, he's gonna need a new lawn, for starters. You got nothing but holes there now.
You gotta turn it into a miniature golf course. That's what people already thought it was.
No, Harold, he's gonna rent a guard dog. That's the man's way. Revenge first, solutions later. Gonna get one of them Doberman pincers. You know, the kind that pinch a burger right in the Doberman.
Oh, I don't like that idea. Oh, they scare me, those dogs. They got big ferocious teeth and little short hair, and they look weird as anything.
People in glass houses, Harold. Oh, I often can guess how long they've been wed by the volume at which they yell. The argument noise level goes up every year. After 10 years, you really can tell. He grunts and complains and starts to fight. He bellows and roars like a bear. And likely as not, she'll sneak off in the night to go have a quiet affair. This week on Meet Your Member, we're going to find out a little bit more about explosive expert Edgar K.B. Montrose.
Well, Red, if we're going to meet our members, and it sounded like we were, well, I just want to say that I'm not really an explosive expert. I just watch a lot of Roadrunner cartoons.
All right, then maybe we'll talk a little bit more personally. You know, your growing up, your family life, that type of thing.
Oh, sure, Red. Okay, well, I was born in Saskatchewan up near Assiniboia, but I didn't really fit in with those narrow-minded nitpickers. You know, they're always saying things like, shouldn't you have a license to handle explosives? Or, shouldn't you be using a longer wick? Or where did the schoolhouse go? You know, that sort of thing. You know, that's a secret, Red, knowing where to place your charges.
Well, I'm not great at paying my bills, but I would definitely not stiff the guy with the dynamite.
Yeah. Like you said, I got fed up. So, I left civilian life and I joined the military. But that only lasted 3 weeks.
Dishonorable discharge?
Discharge? I'll say so. You could hear it and see it for 20 miles an hour all the way around. Blew up the officers' mess. Turns out they were just thinking about building a new one.
Well, you know, Edgar, it sounds to me like you have trouble making friendships and relationships last any length of time.
Well, yeah, Red, I don't really have any friends, and I I've yet to meet the kind of woman who enjoys sitting on the back porch on a Saturday night while I blow a full-grown Douglas fir right clean across the lake.
You know, with Buster Hatfield being robbed and all, I thought I would take this week's Handyman Corner and show you how you can make your very own home security system using common household appliances. I'm guessing you probably don't have infrared motion sensor and silent alarm sitting there in your sock drawer, but I bet a bunch of you have, say, a toaster and possibly even one of these dartboard units, and you can combine these things to make a foot-activated anti-theft pain device. Burger steps on this. He's toast. The only problem is Bernice and I are such heavy sleepers that a burger is going to have to come actually right up into the bedroom and take our pillowcases or our pajamas or our sheets or some of those devices that Bernice keeps in the end table before we'll ever notice that he's there. So I'm going to show you how to make an anti-theft alarm device that will be triggered anytime a burglar or Jimmy's open a door or even a window. But to do that, you're going to need some of the larger household appliances. A stove, a fridge, and a television set. All right, first of all, from the stove, we need this. The buzzer from the cake timer. Now, that's not loud enough yet to scare a burglar, but it will be once we hook it up to the speaker from the television set. And from the refrigerator, we need this. The pressure-sensitive light switch that activates the light. All right, now you want to remove each of those things from each of the three appliances. Getting these parts out is going to take a little longer than I thought, so why don't you get back to the show and I'll just kind of get them out of here. Stay tuned as Bill and I go skeet shooting. And Ranger Gord pretends to be in better shape than I'm in. Last week, my wife found some pictures of me when I was a teenager. Yes, they had photography back then. Should have seen the way I dressed, the way I comb my hair and my shoes. Pretty scary stuff. Didn't look nearly as sharp as I do now. But you know what made me feel better was thinking about the teenagers of today and how they're going to be humiliated looking back at how they look 15 or 20 years down the road, you know. I mean, imagine some future vice president of IBM passing around pictures of himself with a purple mohawk, cutlery for earrings, a dragon tattooed on his exposed stomach, and jeans so baggy in the crotch you got room for a family of groundhogs. So if you got a kid at home who looks like an extra from Road Warrior, take lots of pictures of him now. Then when he wises up and gets respectable, you can sell him back to him, one picture at a time. Sure beats saving your own money for retirement, doesn't it? Well, we've had a couple of problems with Buster's guard dog, Brutus. You know, maybe he shouldn't have rented the most ferocious dog in the kennel.
The attack dog got away. Brutus is on the loose? Uncle Red, they can smell fear.
Now, don't worry, Harold. Brutus is free to go anywhere he wants, but for some reason, he's just staying there patrolling Buster's front lawn.
Well, Buster won't be getting any mail. Or any visitors.
Yeah, that's the upside. The downside being that Buster is actually trapped in his own house.
Trapped? Oh, no. Imagine the irony. Hiring an animal to protect your interest, and then he turns on you.
Yeah, I can imagine that, Mr. Producer Director.
Well, what are you guys going to do?
Well, we've come up with a plan that we call cowering indoors. Other than that, we're going to run back and forth between our vehicles, throwing weenies over our shoulder to distract Brutus.
Well, there is a lesson to be learned here, Uncle Red. Buster should have phoned the police as soon as his lawn orders were stolen. But instead, he chose the route of revenge. And now, like a prisoner, he is trapped in his own home. I hope you are learning from his mistake.
Yes, we are, Harold. We're all going to get guard dogs, because that guard dog's on the loose, and our guard dogs will protect us from that guard dog.
Everyone at Possum Lake is getting a guard dog?
Yes, sir. Not everybody's getting a Doberman, though. Stinky's got a cougar in his front lawn.
A live cougar?
Well, it runs. It's a 74. Got the plywood spoiler on there. The moon rims. He painted her up like a rainbow trout.
Okay, yeah, that is scary.
Hey, nobody's ever stolen anything from Stinky.
No, too easy to trace.
right, we're up here at Fire Tower 13 with Ranger Gord, who's going to tell us all about outdoor security.
Thanks, Red. Let me show you my security system. Now, I don't actually have electricity for an alarm, and I used to have a guard dog, but he couldn't take the loneliness.
So you have no security system at all, Gord?
Well, that's not entirely true, Red. You see, I live in this 100-foot tower atop a 200-foot hill. Now, I don't know much about the criminal mind, of course, but the criminal body tends not to be in the best physical condition. So the fact is, Red, that not a lot of criminals can make it to the top of my tower to steal my stuff.
Plus, you don't have all that much stuff that's worth stealing, do you, Gord?
Well, that's not entirely true either, Red. You see, I've got all sorts of things up here. In fact, well, there's my grandmother's silverware set right over by your foot, Harold. Be careful. Be careful. Harold, be careful! No!
Was that the camera?
No, that's next.
No. Something a little more sophisticated this week on Adventures with Bill, some skeet shooting, you know, what the locals do, and I was a little late arriving because I didn't have anything to wear. And Bill had apparently started without me, and he follows the skeet. There it is there, and then, now Bill. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, you got it. You should be darn proud of yourself. Anyway, this is a kind of a neat little rig, kind of a skeet thrower, and yeah, I wasn't, no, sorry, yeah, all right, don't worry about that. Okay. So what it does is he mounts the little clay skeets, a good name for a country western singer. He mounts them into the skeet thrower, and then the idea is that there's apparently a trigger thing, which